So today we're taking a look at a watch that I think makes for a great entry point if you're looking to get yourself into a Sinn watch. It is a little lighter on Sinn technologies compared to some of their other models, but at the same time, because of that, it's a little bit more affordable. The watch is the 240 ST Pilot's watch. I've had it about a month now, and I've been wearing it a whole lot since I picked it up. It's not perfect by any means, but it is still a very solid offering from Sinn. Now, if you're wondering what we are doing out here today, I thought since we're talking Pilot watches, we would All right, so hopefully you enjoyed the little flight down by the lake. I had actually just done a firmware update to my drone and wanted to give it a quick test flight before an upcoming trip that we're taking next week. But the 240 ST, this watch came out about 7 years ago and is still in the current Sinn lineup. It draws heavily on the case and dial designs of previous models, and because of that, it is instantly recognizable as a Sinn watch. This model isn't tech-packed like some of their watches, but it's still a great watch that's a lot of fun to wear. One bit of that Sinn tech we don't have that I really wish we did is the hardened steel case. That would propel the watch to another price level, but it would be great to have that extra scratch resistance. The case is completely bead blasted, and so far there's no major scuffs or scratches. There's really none to speak of at all, but they probably will come eventually. Now, this is a larger watch, but it wears surprisingly well. Between the curvature of the case and the shorter lug to lug, it's one of those watches where it wears a whole lot better than the case diameter would suggest. The case back is a screw down case back, and in German has some of the specifications of the watch engraved. Translated, it reads stainless steel, shockproof, anti-magnetic, and water resistant 100 meters. We've got two crowns here, one to operate the inner rotating bezel, that's the upper crown at the 2 o'clock, and the other is to adjust your day, date, and time. Both are signed with the Sinn S, and both are not screw down crowns, and that is probably my biggest gripe with the watch. I'm actually okay with the main crown not being screwed down. It'd be nice, but not a major problem for me. It's the crown at the 2 that's more of a problem. As you wear the watch through the day and want the markers on the bezel to line up with the dial, you'll be readjusting that pretty often. It turns slightly through the day by making contact with the back of your wrist or maybe putting your hands in your pocket, and it always ends up a little off. The crowns do offer a little bit of that Sinn technology, though, with the D3 system. This provides protection from lateral knocks that could allow dust or water into the case. Running the watch is the Sellita SW220, which is a 26 joule movement beating at 28,800 vibrations per hour and with a power reserve of approximately 38 hours. The winding action is smooth. The crown isn't overly large, but it's sized right so it's easy to get a hold of to wind and set the time and date. The dial is a matte black, nothing flashy here at all. It's really designed to do the job of time telling or timing things, and it does that very well. I do like that they have that bit of color with the second hand, so it's not too overly bland, but it's a clean dial layout. The only text on the dial is Sinn on the upper part of the dial and made in Germany at the bottom, which is grayed out, so it's quite subtle. Another thing I think is cool, a nice little detail, is the way they have the base of the handset matching the matte black of the dial, almost giving the hands a floating effect. The Lume is pretty good. There's brighter Lume out there, but this is definitely respectable and definitely does the trick to get the time in the dark. So these are available on either bracelet or strap. This leather strap is a very high quality strap. I love the look of the multiple layers of leather. It's pretty thick because of that, but it does look really good on the watch. The bead blasted buckle is signed Sinn, and one kind of neat feature with it is on the second keeper here, they've got this piece of fabric that holds that in place and keeps it from slipping off of the long end of the strap. Size on the watch comes in at a case width of 43.1 millimeters. So it's a larger case width, but that is offset by the compact lug to lug of 45.4 millimeters. Lug opening is 22 millimeters and the thickness is 10.9 millimeters. Water resist on the watch, I think I mentioned that already before, but it is 100 meters. And the watch is also low pressure resistant, which keeps the crystal from popping out if ever there was a sudden drop in pressure. For example, if a plane was to suddenly lose cabin pressure. Crystal on the watch is sapphire and is treated with an anti-reflective coating on both sides. And here it is on my 7.25 inch wrist. And the way the case is contoured, it totally hugs the wrist. The inner bezel moving on its own is a bit of a bummer, but overall, it's an awesome watch. Price on these is 1920 USD. If you're in North America, they're available at watchbuys.com. I have no affiliation with them at all, but I've purchased two watches from them and also recently some links for a Sinn bracelet. They've been great to deal with. So that is it. Appreciate you taking a few minutes to stop by, and we'll see you real soon. Bye bye.